Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to another review from Roy's Review. And today we have got a tank review for you. Yes, today we are looking at the new Horizon Resin Artisan Edition Falcon. So join me down below when we'll take a look round the box and the unboxing of it, and then come back up here and I'll give you my thoughts. See you down there. Okay, and welcome down to the table, and here we are looking at the new Horizon Falcon tank, which is the Resin Artisan Edition. And anybody that's purchased Horizon Falcon before will recognise the container that it comes in. Now, I must stress that this is the pre-production model. There's still a few little niggly faults with it. When I spoke to the guys at Horizon, they told me that they were going to get them all fixed before it goes into full production on the 25th of September, or gets full release on the 25th of September. So on the front you've got Horizon Tech and their Falcon emblem. You've got the warning, and it says 2mm. Before I do open this up, my 2mm glass broke. At Expo I dropped it while changing it onto this tank, so folks, be very wary. And don't drop it from a height. And on the back you've got the Falcon, all the description, you have the QR code and the warnings at the bottom, and www.horizonsig.com. And it just also has the instructions. It says an M2 mesh coil, M3 triple mesh, which is their new coil. It's in here. Now, I have kept the M3 in here because I've been vaping on it for just over a week. So we can see what sort of condition that is in. I've cleaned the tank out, obviously, with the things. So there's the tank. What I'll do is I'll just grab Steve Dillydaff's little piston holder, as you can see, and we'll just set it on there just for safekeeping while we look into the rest of the contents. So you lift that up, and then underneath you have a piece of foam, and then delve on down into the bottom. Lots of foam, and you get a bag with spare O-rings. The top seal and nice thick O-rings. Now, the O-rings aren't skimpy on it, they're actually quite decent. So we just keep this on here for the moment, and then take off the top part, which leaves you the coil. As you can see, that's the new M3 coil, and that's with a week vaping on a lemon juice, so it's actually quite a sweet juice as well. There's slight discolorization coming to the coil cotton in there, but you can see it's a 3-core mesh, and I'll just tell you more about the coil and the flavour when we go up top. So taking out the coil, you have the bottom section. As you can see, it's resin with the Artisan, which is all matchy on there. You've got the airflow, which is fully adjustable from right down to very tight draw, all the way up to fully open. So that's it, fully open, and then you just turn it till it's fully closed. And there is 3 air holes, all which controlled by the one ring. So you have one there, one there, one there. Now, I have just put the M1 coil in. Nice deep O-ring there for it. And then you have your bubble glass. This takes up to 7mm, which I have found really handy when doing it. And here's your top piece with nice deep O-rings again around the outside in blue to match. You've got your drip piece here, drip tip here, which looks quite big on the outside, but it is just a 510 connection drip tip, as you can see there, and it fits in. Now this does come out very easily, especially if you get a little bit of juice around it. As I say, the guys over at Horizon are going to fit that back to the manufacturers to get it milled better. And again, the top piece here is your Artisan resin. So we'll just put the glass back on, and it all holds together once you screw it together. It holds everything in place. And to fill it, you just unscrew the top piece, which gives you two kidney shaped fill holes just there. And you've got another big rubber grommet. I wouldn't say it's an O-ring, but it's more of a rubber grommet, which then goes down to make the seal where you fill it. Now doesn't take much to unscrew it. It's literally a half a turn to lock it into place, and half a turn to undo it. Now, one thing I would be careful in saying is make sure you get the threads in place, because if you don't get the threads correctly in place, you end up with it sitting at an angle, a little bit like that, which can then leak. So you need to get some juice into it, and then we'll go up top. Okay, just to get some juice, to put some juice into it, what I'd always recommend doing is taking the coil. I didn't mean to come off there, but when the coil is in place, take your juice, and today's juice of choice is Rude Boy Cola Ice, and it's from their Ice Pop range. So anywhere that you can see cotton on the edges of the coil, get some juice onto there, because it helps soak it up into your little cutouts right round the edge. And this helps lengthen the life of your coil, and just means you can actually get to vape sooner rather than having to leave it to sit for ages after you put your juice in. So you just keep putting juice on it till you get it, and then right round the inside where you can see the cotton, and you can see it's one piece of mesh that's in right round there. Don't overdo the middle bit, because otherwise you get juice coming down into your airflow. So once you have it just up to that, put it back together again. Take off the top cap. Again, thanks to Steve for the very handy Abbey holder, and top up your juice again. So there we go. I'd say it's a 7mm tank, so you won't be running back every 2 seconds to fill it up. So join me up top, folks. See you then. And welcome back up again, folks, and that was the unboxing and look around the Artisan edition of the Falcon, the resin Artisan Falcon. As you can see, there's not many differences. Any of you have owned the original Falcon, which I wasn't. I didn't own one. I'm not the world's biggest stock coil fan in the world, but having spent a week with this tank, I feel like I'm converted. I'm going to use stock coil more due to the fact that this tank, the flavour, and especially of this new M3 coil, is close to a rebuildable tank as I've got, and I absolutely adore the flavour on it. So taking away the niggly points which Horizon Tech are already aware of, I'll give you my pros and pluses. But first of all, sitting on top of the Vape Strider at 60.01 or 60.1 even. So sitting on top of the Vape Strider at 60.1 watts. Here we go. That's with the airflow half open. As you can see, loads of vapour, and absolutely oodles of taste. You know, the ice, this ice cola is there, the cola flavour is there as well, so you're getting it in abundance. Negative points. So the cons, start off with the cons first. It's a stock coil tank. So if you're running sweet juices in there, you may end up burning your you may get you can get bad batches of coils and everything else. So you really are down to the manufacturer's quality controls on your coils. Apart from that, I don't actually have any other cons. Oh, don't drop your 2mm glass from a height onto a concrete floor. It doesn't like it. It rolled off a table and hit a concrete floor and put a big crack in it. But I did get the 7mm tank supplied separately with it. It didn't show it in the box and envelope, but you can get the 7mm glass with it in a nice little box like that. Which is a lovely little touch from the guys over at Horizon, who gave me this for the purposes of a review. So massive thumbs up to those guys. Now, pros. The wide exit for the drip tip, even though it is a 510 drip tip in the bottom, it's got a really comfortable mouthpiece on top. The fact that everything matches, so your drip tip, your top and your bottom, all resin and matchy. 7mm tank, or 7mm glass tank, bubble glass, love it. Now, and it doesn't look out of place on it. It doesn't look like it's, you know, something from another world. It actually really suits it. So I must have designed that at the time when they were doing it. When it's fully open, it is a really airy beast. So let's put it open full air. Puts the cloud production up. The flavour, taste-wise, does suffer slightly when you have it fully open. And then you can take it right down to a really restricted, I don't know if you can see, just see how restricted I have that. And I say it's the 3-way air holes in this. You still can get the vapour production. And let's try it mouth to lung in it. When it's really down low, you could get away with doing a mouth to lung on it. But it is more suited as a sub-ohm tank. And as I say, running this at 60 watt, I'm getting lovely flavours. So folks, if you've liked my review, give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment. If you haven't liked it, give me a thumbs down. Well then, still drop me a comment. You know, everything's welcome. And again, this is going up on VapeTube first of all, and then it will be up on YouTube. So once up on YouTube, you will get a link back, or a link to the subscribe button here. And up here, you will get a link back to a previous review that I've done. And again, I'd just like to say a massive thanks up to the guys over at Horizon for supplying this for the purposes of review at the Manchester Vapor Lifestyle Expo. And it just remains me to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you've been watching this review. Take care now. Bye. California dreaming about you.